few days ago, there was an article on Washington Post about the hunters. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking this is not good. But on the contrary, it was the other way around. Here it says hunting is declining, creating a crisis for conservation. Now it's about time they give us a recognition for fighting to preserve and to protect the wildlife and the animals. And I had to make this video because I think this whole article is missing a point. This article was out in February the 3rd, 2020. And to summarize the article, they're saying the huge declining in hunters is creating a financial crisis because they're selling fewer hunting permits and licenses, fewer hunting equipment. And a lot of people don't know this, but there is a tax every time we buy hunting equipment or like a guns or other equipment or like archery or bow, whatever we buy to enjoy our hunting activities, there's a tax. I believe it's 7%. Now, because there's a decline in that tax and selling the permit, there is a crisis in conservation. The reason why they think there's a huge declining in the hunters is that our next generation, younger generations are not into hunting. And that's because they rather play with a video game and stay indoor. That might be part true, but I don't think that's everything. From my perspective and seeing my kids growing up, and they do hunt, but not excessively as like I do, they gotta work. But anyway, is that since they were little, they were kind of brainwashed. When they're watching a cartoon, animation movie, or any kind of movie in general, they show hunters as someone who's not educated, who's very rude, mean, angry, unstable, but has a gun with them. So they always show hunters as someone who's not a good person, a bad person. And that kind of embeds into their brain. And as they grow up, and they actually came and talked to me when they're talking to their friends and they tell them that they hunt, their first response is like, why do you want to kill? But they don't understand it's not about killing. I honestly don't believe there's any hunters out there when they hunt, they don't feel sorry for the animal they just harvested. Because I know I do. But on the other hand, I am more grateful than the sorry that I have for the animal. Because I was able to harvest and I was able to supply my family with a really good organic meat. When I meet my friends and colleagues who are not hunters and I tell them all those wildlife and national forests, because everybody that I know loves to go out there, go for a hike, bike, and really enjoy the outdoor life, but they don't know where their money is coming from. And they really need to stop and think, wow, it's beautiful. Who's paying for this? And majority of the money that is spent to preserve and protect our conservation comes from the hunters. That's the fact. So I think if we really want to encourage new hunters, I think we need to be more honest in our society and in the media or in the newspaper. Just let them know that taxes that's collected from hunters is what's really paying for all this conservation and to protect the wildlife and animal. And at the same time, let them know many hunters that I went into, I never went into any mean hunters, any uneducated, unstable person in the mountain. Everybody I met, they're good people, very humble, loves the outdoor, loves the animal, and they're willing to spend their hard-earned money to protect what they love. I really think they need to show that it is the hunters who's really fighting to preserve our conservation, and we are the ones who's spending our hard-earned money. And if people understand that, and if our younger generation thinks it's not a shameful thing to do it, but actually something that they could be proud of and something that people could encourage them of, I really believe our next generation will pick up where we left off.